Hi, Facebook. I am out here with my dirt and my puppies, and I am just kind of soaking up life right now. And I had made a post actually a couple days ago, but I think it just came into a couple people's feeds recently because several people were commenting on it, and I just felt inclined to talk about this live, especially given my current state of Zen finding. So the post basically, it was a little graphic, and it talked about the kind of hypervigilant state of always needing to be busy. And if you don't have something exciting, aka dramatic or stressful going on, that you will seek out ways to basically create that environment. And a lot of that comes from childhood dysregulation of kind of the fight or flight mode and always going. And then a lot of us as adults kind of recycle that and remanufacture it into success and busyness, and look how much I'm accomplishing and look how great I am. And it gets us a lot of accolades. It's like, people are applauding, you do so much. I've experienced and heard this so many times. And if you're new to following me, you may see on the surface that I own multiple businesses and I'm in health and fitness and all of that. But if you haven't followed me throughout the duration of like my health journey and my business journey, you might not have seen all of the choices that I had to make to preserve my own health mentally and physically, like close a fitness facility that I had for many years, and do Zen finding trips and spend a year just going on 10 different trips traveling and all of that. And so many of us were like school, sports, and then it's college, and it's get the degree, and then it's the job, and then the wife and the family, and it's like all these things. And then we get to a point, sometimes like mid-30s, where we're like bored out of our minds and we don't know where the next stimulation is coming from, where the chaos is going to come from next. So we create it. We overcommit to things. We start fights in our relationships. We look at things through a lens of, I'm going to find fault with this. I'm going to find an issue with this. That person meant that. We're always on the defensive. We're always stressed. We claim that we want peace and tranquility, but yet all of our actions basically set us up to overcommit and be in this constant state of, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. I got to get this done, because it's like a drug. It's an addiction. Those stress hormones wire your brain to be addicted to them. And when you don't have them, you feel numb, dead, like completely just like defeated, and like there's no point to anything if you're not in this like frantic fight or flight mode. And I've been there, 100 million% been there. It's why I'm such a huge advocate for stress management. It's why my company Zen Finders, to take people away and teach them tools to manage their life, exist. It's why I do all of the therapies that I do with cranial sacral that works with the nervous system, because cognitive therapy on a mind conscious level is only 5% of the equation. You have to change these dynamics on a physiological level, the nervous system. It is the pedal, to the floor. That is what that is. You can't just talk about it or ponder about it or have someone tell you, hey, maybe you should take a break. Like, that would be great. Like, consciously, again, you guys have probably heard me talk about the conscious mind is 5% of the equation. So whatever it's thinking doesn't really mean anything when it's up against 95% of your existence, your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions that are subconscious. So you have to address, as always, the somatic body, the way the body is holding on to these stress hormones and tensions and these patterns that are wired like this. It's like a beaten down path in your brain. You have to address that. 100% have to address that. And then you also have to address the subconscious that tells you that is needed for survival, because the subconscious brain, again, you might have heard this in my talks or my other videos, the number one goal of the subconscious brain is survival. And it has convinced you, it has come to the conclusion that being really busy all the time keeps you alive. Because as a kid, being hypervigilant and maybe cleaning up the house all the time so that your parents wouldn't get mad and wouldn't hit you or something like that, the message that your subconscious mind got was, you have to be like this all the time, or else shit's gonna hit the fan. You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get hurt. And at the core of the perpetuation of all of this, again, as kids, what we do is a lot different than what we consciously think we're doing things for as adults, but the governing force is still the same. But at its core, it's this deep wound of, I have to perform to be worthy of something. I have to, like right now, there's a lot of women, oh my gosh, I've heard this so many times, who are talking about how kind of empty they're feeling because of this lockdown. You know, their businesses have been put to a halt. Their level of achievement has kind of been like quelled, and they're feeling really inadequate at their core. They're like, well, if I'm not all of my achievements, if I'm not all this success and this growth and this money, then who am I? And you're seeing a lot of people that were kind of propped up on this pseudo sense of confidence, this pseudo sense of self-love even, that are kind of crumbling right now because it wasn't this innate I'm okay with myselfness that was making them feel confident or full of self-love. It was all the things that had propped that up. And again, I dealt with that when I left my gym in Nashville. Like, I had to kind of almost grieve and really take a lot of time to look at myself as not the business owner or the gym owner, you know, kind of starting all over again. And that took a big hit on my confidence and my self-worth. And I was like, dang, I need to keep working on that, because my gym being off of my plate left a lot of room for like, oh shit, what now? And I really kind of, you know, ran myself into the ground with trying to get my other businesses up so quickly. And I had very unrealistic goals for myself for that. And I kind of just like spun myself down into a hole when I should have taken an entire year to just breathe based on what my entire life had consisted of. So when you find yourself so uncomfortable in that state of quietness or not over obligation, then you have to look at, for one, again, the programs that are pre-existing that have created that. And then what does it mean to me to achieve or to be busy? It gives me a sense of self-worth. It gives me a sense of I matter, I'm doing something productive, but that's not a good thing. You shouldn't have to feel like you're, I'll say this, I'm a world changer. I'm like an advocate. I am like save the world kind of person. And I, over the years, have had to get really, really, really careful about where I'm putting my energy, what causes I'm advocating for, how I'm advocating for those, and not get wrapped up in wanting to be 100% an advocate for every single cause, because there were times in my life I felt like that was the case too, that I had to just everything, the planet, every population, every issue, every health I mean, just no one person can do that. Like, nobody can. So you can still be an advocate, you can still research, you can still be a giver, you can still be a world changer, but it doesn't mean you have to do everything all the time for everybody, or else you feel like a piece of shit who's not doing anything. Which again, easier said than done. We're talking at the conscious level here, that 5%. So if you're feeling like this is something that resonates for you, I just had this asked by Rosie, if Rosie's watching this or catches this later. She's like, okay, this is me, you know, I feel really unproductive, not doing something all the time. I'm not sure how to deal with this. Like, how do you fix it? And as I told her, I'm like, this is a multifaceted, long-term approach. You have to address the somatic body. You have to work with the subconscious brain. You have to make lifestyle changes. And you also have to work on really looking at what's driving this. Is it that core unworthiness wound? Then how do we cultivate self-love? How do we cultivate a feeling of I'm okay, I'm enough as I am? For me right now, it's coming live with zero makeup on, in the dirt, in my yard, with unflattering light. You can see my wrinkles, but like, I'm still me. Like, my brain, my heart, my soul, it's all still the same. And you have to kind of inch towards that sometimes. Sometimes you just got to do the shit that makes you uncomfortable and then realize, okay, like, for one, people appreciate real life like this. And for two, it feels liberating. You just keep building your confidence little by little. But the Zen finding, as you know, I've dubbed for years, that cultivating the little bit of intentional time to just be is so important. I am an entrepreneur. I am a type A. I am driven. I am an advocate. I'm an INFJ. I'm a lot of different things. But I'm also just a woman who loves dirt and plants and to watch lizards and puppies all day. And I have to intentionally set time in my life to do those things and just be this version of myself. And my businesses have grown, my health has improved, my money has increased, my relationships have increased. This desire to be busy all the time is so, how do I put it? it looks glamorous and it's very enticing. It's seductive. That's the word I was looking for. It's very seductive. It's the world of Instagram, perfect filtered photos, models, you know, all of that perpetuates, I got to do all this so that I can compete with those people. You're not competing with those people unless you tell yourself that you are. I don't compete with any Instagram model with flawless airbrush pictures and perfect filters every day. Like, no, I don't compete with anybody. I'm just trying to be my best self and help and serve the best that I can, but also understand that I can't be a part of every single cause 100% all the time. I have to honor my own needs and desires. And it's kind of like the whole put your oxygen mask on first thing. When you're bleeding out energy to 500 causes or things, tasks, chores, whatever, or 500 people in your circle, you're cheating yourself and the people or the causes that could really benefit if you're giving your energy to 5 people or 10, you know, causes. So it's kind of just the concentration that you should look at. When I connect with a friend, it's a really incredible person who I love and adore and that I really get nourishment out of. I'm kind of over just connecting with people just to keep up face and, you know, keep relationships that don't really serve me or drain and deplete me. Like, a lot of people get in that people-pleasing state, and that's really hard to get out of too. But just be intentional and be careful with where you're bleeding your energy. Know that you do not have to be performing all the time. You don't always have to be contributing. You don't always have to be giving and changing the world. You can just be sometimes, and not that you needed my permission, but I'm giving you permission. You just have to give yourself permission to do that. And I hope that at the very least, maybe you go and dig in the dirt or go buy a plant or something today. And if it's a lazy Sunday for you, good for you. Don't feel guilty. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. And if you feel like you're in that state where, okay, I could never navigate this on my own, reach out. This is what I do. This is what Spiritual Fit Chick is all about. It's mind, body, soul, stress management, holistic living. I have numerous modalities that I implement in this process to help people go from that frazzled, stressed to the max state to being able to do this. Sit in the dirt and just be 100% confident and okay in yourself and where you're at. So, hi. You know what? I don't even know your name, Casey. Like, what's your actual name? Let me see if there's any questions. Learning new patterns, undoing all that we learned. Yes, 100%. So that's all I got for now, guys. If you catch the replay, please leave me a comment and let me know that you did. If you have any questions or things that you'd like to see other videos on, just let me know, and I'm going to get back to repotting my plants. Bye-bye.